Namaste, my galactic family. This is Angel ASIM. MOHREPHOH from umehllohzohreh. PLEIADIAN consciousness here for you. My galactic family, I love you. I adore you. Please listen to me with your heart. The contemplation on your reflections, on your understandings, possibilities, fantasies, all in collaboration, my galactic family, with your higher self. Everything, my galactic family, everything is reflecting to you, is reminding you who you are. Everything, the good and the evil, the polarity itself, everything is reminding you of who you are. Please look through all Pleiadian Morpho films on 8 different YouTube channels, and you will know exactly, you will connect the big dots, and you will know exactly what we're saying to you here. The reflection, everything is a reflection. The concept of multiverses, the concept to understand the psyche between parallel realities, between parallel universes, my galactic family, between micro, macro, as above, so below. Everything is a reflection. Everything is a mirror, my galactic family. To know, my galactic family, the psyche, mentality, the mentality itself of creation itself. Not, okay, let's put on the side God Almighty, Prime Creator, all the angels, or all archangels. Let's put it on the side here. As the field itself, as a concept, as a construct, we know, yeah, it's always your spirit. Your spirit doesn't exist. It's only your it's only your consciousness. It's your awareness. Your awareness can is everywhere. Like I mentioned before, my galactic family, you are everywhere and you are everything, because if you are created in the image of God Almighty, God Almighty is everywhere. He's everything. He's everywhere. So to really see and connect quickly all the dots, always remember, my galactic family, that the psyche, the true mentality of the construct of creation itself, it's not only a mirroring itself. That's the mirroring itself is only for understanding purposes only, my galactic family. So you can reflect. Everything is designed in the universe so you can reflect on it. You can contemplate on it. Yeah. Especially here in three-dimensional construct. It's a three-dimensional reality. It's a test, if you will, experience and experiment of the new idea, of a new perspective. But there's something more, my galactic family. There is something more. Please listen to me with your heart. Not only that the psyche, the mentality of the construct of itself, of the whole creation, it's like one universe is reflecting on the other universe. And if we put one universe, imagine you put one universe in the middle, and how many universes are around the bubble of this universe? So this one universe have to reflect to all of eternity in every direction. It have to mirror itself through different universes, different bubbles, and different bubbles are doing the same with the with Googleplex of other perspectives, and it's reflecting on itself, reflecting on itself, reflecting on itself. But there's something more to it. A lot of you didn't ponder on that avenue. Let's come closer to be on a mentality of for the new brothers and sisters who are watching this for the first time, never heard about Galactic Federation or Earth Angels, or we're ascending, we're integrating with a higher octave, higher frequency. What I'm about to tell you, it's the psyche of an alien being on a very, very high frequency, because when we come to the higher octave, from your perspective, it's the lowest we can come from their point of view to three-dimensional illusionary amnesia state here, consciousness with the polarity sequence. So it's the alien mentality compared to this mentality. I'm bringing to your awareness an alien. I know it's all galactic family, I know, but I'm talking in the terms of because I want to tell you something, and this is the only avenue I can describe to you how it will all make sense in the end. Listen to me, my galactic family. So imagine we're bringing this alien consciousness. Imagine we're bringing from one universe that is totally opposite, completely opposite. Everything is totally opposite what's right here from your consciousness, from your nature, from your understanding, overstanding, how you want it, my galactic family. So imagine it's not only a reflecting to each other, because what the universe, the one universe who is totally opposite, and I'm talking about everything, a psyche, fantasy, I mean, any concept you can think of, it's upside down. It's in magic. You can even imagine in the state of your consciousness here now, what they can contemplate on, and they are not in alignment to contemplate what is your perspective. I'm talking about the difference between the perspectives. It's so huge. It's so different that we can never put ourselves in their shoes, and vice versa. That's what I'm saying here. And even in polarity sequence of the universes, there is a buffer. There is a buffer. You see, everything is a mirror, but what is a buffer between those parallel universes, parallel realities? There's always a buffer. If everything is a reflection of itself, there's have to be a barrier, a something between it, a buffer. And we put it on a side, Prime Creator, God Almighty. We put on the side archangels, angels, light beings. We strictly focusing on a structure, a mentality, a psyche of a cosmos of itself, the mechanics of it, the psyche of it, the mentality of it. That even in symbiosis, even on Gaia, for example, we compare to other species, different, like bugs or animals or what have you, different plants. We are like aliens to them, and they are like aliens to us, but we coexist. We reflecting to each other. We are reflection to each other. Even if we are completely alien to each other, we are still terrestrials, because we are here on the same plane, flat Earth, Gaia. So what are we saying here, my galactic family? What are we saying here? And again, I heard one brother is mentioning right now, here we go again, this Pleiadian morpho, still always prolonging his questions and his answers, and the dialogue is just, come on, just a balance of your spirit is patience. A balance of your consciousness, of your spirit, is patience, my galactic family. If you, I don't care who you are, how you are, what you are, when you are, how awakened you are, or how not awakened you are. It doesn't matter. Always be in a state of patience, because this is, even if you are aware or you are not aware, my galactic family, this brings you to coherent understanding. Now, the patience, it's opening up the corridors, the portals to more understanding. The patience, yeah, prayers, meditation, is all of those things I just mentioned require patience. Going for a walk, a contemplation, meditation, prostration, a prayer. Does that require a small amount of patience? Exactly. This is what we're saying here. And in that state, you're opening corridors, different avenues for more understanding. So if you're always in a rush, you will never understand everything to how we're mentioning to you. Even if you're contemplating for 1,000 years, you will never understand what we're saying to you if you're not going to be in that still point in patience, because patience is a balance of your psyche, of your awareness, of your consciousness, because spirit don't exist. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body, but it's even deeper than that. Nobody have a soul. Nobody have a body. We are point of view. We are filter of consciousness from prime creator. This is a core who you really are, a perspective, only a perspective. And you are going to live forever. This perspective of who you really are, you can change after 10,000 years, million years, you will change, but you will always remember that it's you. It's you. Because you're always going to be unique. No matter what's going to happen, you're always going to be unique. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. It's like, always be yourself, because sooner or later you're going to change. But still, sooner or later, if you're going to change, you're always going to be you, because you always going to know your blueprint of your core focus perspective, your individuality, your individual point of view from prime creator. This is what we're saying here, my galactic family. So the symbiosis, everything is in symbiosis in multiverses, because there is a buffer. Even if there's a discord, if there's like a so alien universe compared to ours, and we are so alien for them, it's like no way they were ever gonna understand us, and vice versa. But through different buffers, different universes, because here's the catch, and here's the secret. The universes, they change point of view as well. Not only you are individualized perspective, there is a dimensional individualized perspective, and there is a universal individualized perspective. And a lot of those times, the perspectives of the universes are changing. It's like, for 13 million years, this one universe was focused on a universe 1, 2, and 3. And then after 13 million years, this universe are focusing from 3, and then a second one, and then the first one. It's going backwards, if you will. And the other universes are doing something totally different. They were looking on a universe 7, 8, and 9. And then they change, for example, to look on a universe 6, 7, 8. See where we're coming with this, my galactic family. Everything is in fluctuation. it's like the consciousness point of view. Your higher self is everything. But if you are focusing, imagine God Almighty is everything. But still, in all that is, God Almighty can focus as his own individual beacon of power. He can be inside of all of the creations and outside of it at the same time, and being everywhere at the same time. Depends where he want to be at that moment. That's power. And like I mentioned before, only God Almighty can be outside of eternity. You can change dimension. You can change the universe. You can go forward, backward, parallelities, what have you. Yeah. But we can never leave outside of the existence itself, the outside of space-time continuum, the psyche, the mentality, the creation itself. Behind the creation itself is something we call angels, we call eternity. And that's imagine there's God and there's multiverses, and the buffer between God Almighty and the multiverses is eternity. That's the buffer. You see what we're coming with this My Galactic family. So now let's go back to the beginning. We're talking about this one universe, those alien beings. They're so different from our mentality. That will be how we imagine. It's like we have to communicate with them. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's no point of reference whatsoever to even start communicating with those beings, and vice versa, them with us. So what do we do? What do we do? Between the mirrors, between the universes, we focus on a filter. We focus on eternity. And eternity, to harness the frequency of eternity, the whole species, the whole universe, the whole dimension have to come as a coherent, a conscious perspective. And on one moment in time, everybody have to bring their awareness to total present moment. Because total present moment and more of beings in this multiverse or dimension are doing this, you are connecting more with the buffer. And a buffer is designed to manage the reflections between universes, between realities. So if we focus on so-called the invisible barrier, doesn't exist, but it's there. It's always there. It's like there's a sound chakra in front of your eyes and you never see it, yeah? Look in previous films, you know exactly what we're saying here. So My Galactic family, when we come to the present moment, and every 13 million years, like I mentioned before, God is doing a reset of the universes. God Almighty is bringing his awareness. And those who are actually, imagine 13 million years, Prime Creator is doing meditation. So if you're doing every 13 million years, if you're doing what God is asking you to do, that means you're doing what God is doing at the same moment, at the same time. That's why it's the biggest blessing. Those who are not listening to God Almighty right now, they're going to be cursed. They're going to be, a lot of them, those most evil ones will be, they will never wake up because that doesn't exist. But they did it to themselves. Look in previous films, you know exactly what we're saying here. So every 30 million years, Prime Creator of all of this is doing something. So we mimic Prime Creator at that time. So if we mimic Prime Creator at that time, our parent, our grandfather, our grandmother, how you want to call it, Prime Creator, God Almighty, if we do exactly what he is doing, what's happening? We are in coherent individualized, connected perspective through all of eternities. It's like we can only go outside of the universes with our imagination. But this is strong enough. If we leave multiverses, universes, pararealities, we go outside of all. We can only imagine going outside and connecting with eternity. That's when you truly grounded fully and aligned with all your pararealities. Do you see where we're coming with this, my galactic family? It's like eternity, a buffer. It's like a razor sharp focus of your individual perspective. You are so focused that you're piercing through pararealities, para-universes. And when a lot of beings in one dimension is doing this, we are actually bringing more reflections, better reflections to reflect to us the better ideas, connections, more understanding. So it's when we're doing this, it's very easy for us to communicate with the most alien version of ourselves somewhere in the universe, somewhere in parareality, somewhere in parallel universes, my galactic family. Through this corridor, we can always find a common ground, even if they're so completely alien towards us and we're towards them. See where we're coming with this. Ponder on this, what I just mentioned. I know it's a little bit tricky. Come on, what are you talking here? But when you listen a few times, you know exactly what we're saying here. There is Prime Creator. Only imagine Prime Creator can be in one point in time as a one individualized being somewhere. He can be anywhere. He can turn off all the perspectives all around him, and he can mainly focus from this one point of view on everything, because he is everything. God Almighty can switch perspectives on will in a heartbeat. Likewise, all the hive of the galaxy, the hive of dimension, the hive of a universe, the collective of the universe, the collective of dimension. This is what we're saying here. God Almighty is like the collective of every dimension, the collective of the oversoul. God Almighty is like oversoul of the dimension, of the universe. And there are how many universes? They're going out forever, yeah? So, if everything is your reflection, you have to connect with you have to be always in a balance point. The barrier, the buffer is the balance point. And being aware of eternity, being deeply in a present moment, connecting with infinity, that's the only way you can be outside of it. It's like you can never be outside of a structure of creation itself. Only God Almighty can be outside of eternity. But we're talking about, you can, with your imagination, you can reach all the way to eternity. You can reach, but you can never leave outside of eternity. This is what we're saying. But imagining eternity, being fully in the present moment, in coherent understanding of your heart space, and more beings are aligning with that frequency, we open corridors for more understanding. So we can communicate with any alien being in any parallel universes, parallel realities. This is what we're saying here. I know this is maybe a little bit not so easy to comprehend, to understand at first, but ponder on this, my galactic family, because there are a lot of avenues into it. So, and it's to understand the most the things the most hard to understand in multiverses, universes, you have to break down, because the biggest number in the universe starts with 1. Yeah, so it's you can simplify the most strange, the strangest thing in the universe, the most the things are like so difficult to understand for you. You can buffer down. You can buffer down to always minimize. If you don't understand something, make it smaller. Make it smaller. Make it smaller. If you ponder on something, it's you don't understand something, make it smaller in your mind. Make that question smaller. And imagine that you are higher self for that, for the aspect of the thing you don't understand. See yourself as you are higher self for the thing you are looking answer for. It's anything, could be something you don't understand, some beings, some scenario, anything. It's like you don't get it, you don't understand that. Well, what I do, how I open the corridors to have more understanding on that subject. Meditate, first prostration, then meditation, and bring yourself to coherent understanding with your heart. Connect with infinity. Be in the present moment. Hear your breathing, my galactic family. And imagine in your mind, imagine that you are higher self for that question. You are higher self for that question. And you see how quickly the answers will come to you. Because if you put everything is perspective. If you change perspective of the question, because if there is a question, you have to be answered in that question. Because if you don't have an answer, the question doesn't exist. The answer is already inside of you. You could never have a question if the answer is not already inside of you. But why because it's design, it's polarity sequence, it's design of contemplation, the universe. Remember the mentality of the universe. It's relativity. It's reflections. It's a mirroring itself. But there is a buffer. You become the buffer. If you become the buffer, so through buffer, because sometimes you ask the question and you think, oh, this is huge. I will never know this, because you making that question as this question is becoming your higher self. So you giving this understanding to your higher self, but you are your higher self. Bring yourself that you are your higher self, and you see that big question you had that you were pondering on for so long and you didn't understand, suddenly became very low and very small. And you're like, wow, it's so simple. Why I never thought about that before. See, so everything's simple. You just have to change the perspective, change the buffer, change how you see things, and the clarity will come straight to you. It's very simple, my galactic family. I am Renegade member, Family of Light Systems Buster, available for altering systems of consciousness within Free Will Universe on call. I love you, my galactic family. Namaste.